What do you think was the biggest problem tonight?
Phoenix. Phoenix was our biggest problem. We didn't play a bad game. 9 turnovers, 28 assists. We didn't make shots. I mean, we had some good looks, and the ball didn't go in, but they were great. I mean, 18 for 35 from three. First half, I thought our guys were actually playing pretty solid defense, rotating, flying around, but they spread you out, and they did a great job of getting behind us a few times, pulling in our rotation guys, and then hitting threes behind the play, and all those threes in the first half. Obviously, forced our hand a little bit, and we had to change our coverages. But this is the modern NBA. Threes go in like that, it's tough to win.
You've even talked about the 12-man, 13-man rotation was always kind of destined to look different during struggles. I mean, on a night like tonight, does it feel like you're searching when you're playing 13-man?
Yeah, I was searching the whole first half. I played 14, I think. I played 14 in the first half. 13. Yeah, 13 in the first half. I was searching. Played everybody. And I didn't love the early part of the second quarter. We didn't have the juice and the energy. Draymond talked about it at practice yesterday. When you've lost a few in a row, you can't count on making 23s and winning a game with your offense. You got to dig your way out of it. And I didn't think our energy and our juice was there, our focus. And so that's why I kept moving people around. And then second half, we found something, and obviously didn't play Moses and Kyle, and so we've got to adapt and adjust. If things aren't working, which obviously right now we're in a little bit of a funk, then we got to think about the rotation and what we're going to do with it. But it's I like all these guys. I believe in all of them. But we have to do what's right to help us win a game.
How did you think Steph looked tonight?
He got it going in the second half. Obviously, he looked a little slow in the first half. Like he wasn't moving like he normally does. And then he got going in the second half and looked fine. But a little bit of a slow start.
How much of this is something you're going to have to manage, not only in the short term but long term throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean he's 36. This is all part of getting older and managing his minutes, his body, and Rick and his staff are the best in the world at what they do, and we're working together every day on this stuff, and so we'll figure it out.
When you are searching, like playing 13 guys in the first 14 minutes, there's not a lot of time for you to make decisions.
Right.
So what are you looking for?
I'm looking for force and energy and juice. I'm looking for guys who are talking on defense. It was a morgue out there in the second quarter defensively. It was I couldn't hear anybody, and so there has to be a collective force and competitiveness if you've lost a few in a row, especially. But I couldn't hear anything. There was just nothing, and so we made some changes and tried to get more energy into the game.
Is part of the concern with going so deep and guys having these at times thin minutes, certainly less minutes than they want to play, that I don't know, they're a little disconnected coming into the game?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. When you're winning, everything's great, and it's like, hey, this is great. We're playing all these people. Everybody's contributing. As soon as you lose, you're going to have some guys pissed off. I was in their shoes. I used to be pissed off at my coach all the time when he didn't play me, and that was most of my career actually. So this is how it is. It's like this. It's the NBA. It's a competitive, vicious league, and 4 games ago we're on top of the world and everybody's happy. Now we've lost 4 in a row and everybody's pissed, and it's all part of it.
When you say as you're in this funk and you're trying to get out of it and you have to consider rotation, does that mean you have to think about shortening it?
Yeah, we got to think about shortening it. We got to think about the combinations. We've been really looking carefully at the combinations that we play game to game, and we have a lot of options. And that's not always an easy thing. sometimes you have too many options, and you're trying to mix and match, and you're trying to avoid playing certain guys together. You're trying to play other guys together, and so it gets harder when the more people you're playing. And so yeah, if we cut back, we'll talk about that over the next couple of days, and if we do, then we do, and things come back around for everybody during the course of the NBA season.
How do you feel about the movement, just ball and
About
also
what?
movement on offense, ball movement, and also players moving around?
Actually, I feel all right about it. I thought, we're I think leading the league in passes per game. If not number one, we're number two. During this losing streak where the ball's moving, we took care of it tonight. We had a few loose possessions, but ball's got to go in, it's tough to win when the other team makes 18 threes. Used to be when you made 14, you were going to win, especially if you only had 9 turnovers. But again, it's a modern NBA. It doesn't work that way anymore.
A few specific rotation things I wanted to ask. You start Pajemski at the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what went into that?
We wanted to get Brandon with that first group. We feel like he is best suited to be a secondary ball handler, playing off of Steph and Draymond because he's so good attacking closeouts and distributing the ball. And I liked how he looked out there tonight. I thought he played really well. And then that brought Pat into the fold. The second game in a row where Pat's really done a nice job of distributing and keeping us in our flow, and so it changed things around a little bit.
And then you started Looney in the second half. Do you think that's something you might do moving forward?
Maybe it's a possibility. We changed our defensive coverage, and so we decided to put Loon in there because he's really good with that coverage, and just wanted to change the look. We were down 17, and we needed to get a spark, and Loon gave us one. That third quarter was really good.
And then what did you think of Kuminga's game? I guess prior to that late stint he had, and then that late stint.
Yeah, he struggled most of the game, and then the late stretch, he gave us a big spark. And he's one of the guys who we have to look at in terms of who he's playing with, and can we get him more minutes with Steph and Draymond? He's better with those guys. Most guys are, but again, we've got a lot of things to think about and sort through.
Coach, KD had 20 and Booker had over 20, but Beal was out tonight. You got Grayson Allen with 17 points, and Tyrese had 19. How difficult are the Suns to guard them when the others are really contributing?
Yeah, and they spread you out. Bud does a great job of designing his offense so that they play out of the pocket a lot. Plumlee's a good roller. They can go their guard-to-guard screens where those guys are diving, and then they always have couple of great three-point shooters on the weak side, and tonight they were hot, so it's tough to guard.
This is somewhat random, but to start the fourth quarter, there was that big stoppage for free throws and review, and then there was a challenge. That was also another big stoppage. So it was like 3 minutes of game time in like 15 minutes. Does something like that change what you want to do for substitutions or anything, just because guys are getting more rest than they would have normally?
No, it doesn't really change anything. If the momentum is where we want it, which it was, going into the fourth, I think we had cut it to 7, if I'm not mistaken. Then we got our rotation where we want it, and I've never seen that play before. The board said that we had 3 team fouls with that when JK fouled whoever it was late in the third, but I've never seen a game where we go back and shoot 2 free throws. Bizarre, but Tony explained the rule, and the rule's a rule. Thanks.
Thank you.